Human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
Red Bull is the official energy partner of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Above if you can, Genos.
I don't have fence. Kill above, kill above.
Okay, hey, Ash on top, Ash on roof! They're fighting, one knock,
Wait, chill a bit. Wait for
Okay.
body.
Yep.
They're still on right. Chill a bit, chill.
We're chilling.
60, Walter.
I'm watching right.
Care above.
I'm watching right, I'm watching it. Look for kills, I'm watching right. Get ready to turn.
Wait, yeah, you're ready for it. We climb up right, I think.
I'm gonna place a Q when we go, by the way. So play my Q if you need
Ready to third.
Yep, I'm ready.
Chill. Focus left, force them into.
Yep.
Focus left.
Heard.
They're pushing. Ready to third.
I'm queuing here.
One of them is low.
Go right.
Right. Ash. Still one guy behind there. Chill
a bit.
Yep.
I'm batting.
We need control.
Go.
Right. Right side.
Nice.
Good fucking shit.
Sheesh.
Let's go.
Easy.
Boring.
SGB with the first win here in New Orleans at the ALGS Open EMEA. The boys, you can hear it in the comms, Dan.
All I heard was them say
I love
easy.
it.
Easy.
Sorry, I got overexcited.
Easy first game on main stage.
Main stage is easy.
One important thing I saw there in the final moments, Banana actually was popping a shield bat, but then didn't pop it on purpose to push with the rest of the team. Very important thing, just to know that extra damage is important in those moments, not your shield. So good for them to take the first victory of the day, but of course it is only match one. Newcastle will now be banned from match two, so that opens up a new selection for a lot of these squads. Catalyst, the likely to be banned next, considering she was on par with Newcastle. But we'll see. Maybe this will change things up. Maybe a few more alters come into the equation now.
Now, while you speak a lot of sense, I have a question to ask you, which is the last two games that we've had at an ALGS LAN. One, EMEA become world champions.
Yes.
ALGS Open. EMEA wins game number one. Is it the greatest region to have ever played the game, Dan?
I think it might be, just from pure statistics.
It might be from my strong bias.
It's hard from a source so well known throughout the Apex scene. But no, I think that, you know, it's a great start for EMEA, but Virtus.pro, for example, will be looking to try and put North America back on the map. Certainly not
Good
just
luck.
in this series, but in the entire tournament, because that's the real question. Who is going to be hoisting a trophy next? Will we see North America back at it again, or will it be one of the more familiar regions like EMEA? Stormpoint match 2, who is going to be the victor here?
You can see SGB with the win in match number one. 5KP to their name. Newcastle will be banned, so no more Newcastle for the rest of this series. And back onto Stormpoint now. We'll have to see those teams who maybe we're all on it a little bit as we take a look at those legend bans, and we see Newcastle fade to grey with a little cross on him as well.
And just for anyone who might be new to watching, the ALGS legend ban happens with the most selected legend is banned. So because Newcastle featured 14 times is banned. So because Newcastle featured 14 times in those compositions, he will no longer be able to be picked. But of course that means that now you maybe switch to a different kind of support, or do you lean away from support? Because traditionally we haven't seen much other supports being used. A little Mirage comes into play a little bit in scrims as well. But I'm excited throughout this tournament as we get further and further. Do we start to see those one-offs start to arrive?
We don't want to look too far ahead because believe me, we have a lot of Apex to play. More than ever before we get towards match point. But just a little thought that's been with us, and I think a lot of players is like, what if we go to like 10? $11, $12, in match point on Sunday. Who knows? I'm just saying.
You better hope that your lifeline main is ready to pull it out from.
A little bit of lifeline scrims.
11 picks, Ash at 9, Alter at 7, and a few more ballistics than we had seen in the previous game, and still 1 Watson and 1 Wraith. Is it going to be that Watson or Wraith that maybe makes the difference? Because remember, it was the winning team who had Watson last time, and they're going to get to keep her for this match too.
They're going to be feeling very, very comfortable. And something we'll discuss a little bit more going on as we get through to the latter rounds is the difference between teams maybe looking in that first round to go for what they believe is their strongest legend composition, or maybe it's going to be one that they can play for a few more games. But we'll get to that discussion a little bit later on, because we need to talk about SGB, the winners of games number 1 from the Challenger circuit over in EMEA. And in their own words, Daniel Gaskin, and for everyone who heard at home from that listening, easy.
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 So I think I heard boring as well. It was a snooze fest for them. That's how easy it was, but we'll have to see whether that confidence can carry on to match 2. It's a straight swap from Newcastle to Catalyst for Banana. A slightly different playstyle. You don't have the shield to work with, but of course it is just about transitioning from point A to point B with Catalyst, getting that Dark Veil down to cover you, but you can do a lot more. You can be quite aggressive with a Catalyst, especially in those final circles when that Dark Veil is down.
Well, something to talk about from that previous game that I think is an indication that there was maybe some nerves on that main stage for a lot of teams is there were a lot of teams in Launchpad around Zone 4, right? But when Zone 5 started to transition and we saw the pull away, I think a lot of teams were scared to try and make the rotate or take a fight a little bit early, which is why you saw the lobby get cut down very, very quickly. And so few teams were left in that final zone. It's just gotta, you know, sometimes you got to just make the play. You've got to recognize your position and realize there's more of the game to come. You got to get to Zone 5. You got to get to Zone 6. It's about navigating a way to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be chasing things when you get to the later stages of these matches and find yourself in the elimination bracket, of course. Now, this is where the zone's going to be heading. We're going to be going up north between Wall and Cascade Falls, right about where Unleash currently are sitting. I imagine the circle is going to be arriving somewhere around there. FWG also looking to move that way as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a hillside ending. You can see exactly where we're going on our beautiful observer overhead right now. Usually pulls towards the top building, although we do see some on that hillside towards the rocks area, so we'll have to see where we do go a little bit later. Third beacon information, not going to be as vital, I would say, on this zone. It's more of a predictable one that we see here on Stormpoint, and one team is going to be feeling pretty chill about the scenario and where they find themselves. Is going to be Unleash. The only worry for them is that Dig Vibes has only got poor old white armor, not too much to work with.
Or as Digi Vibes, as you called him throughout Pro League.
Why did you bring that up?
Just because I think he should rename himself.
That's a crazy comp from you. Everyone makes mistakes, me more than most.
I saw a post on social media.
We've accepted this now.
Maybe we should just rename to Digi Vibes. Anyway, Legion Gaming, they're going to be on the southern side and they're going to be moving through using that Dark Veil just to try and reposition around another squad here, and actually they might be able to surround them.
Well, some shots coming in here from the G7 scouts. Plexus is trying to get some damage down. It's going to be the first knock coming in. Beautiful push here from Miscam to get that first knock on the Ash as well. Just using that dash to get in and out. From Miscam to get that first knock on the Ash as well. Just using that dash to get in and out. Get that first knock. It's going to be another kill going down in the feed as well. There's not going to be a team fully eliminated as yet, as Legion
If you do arrive from the north, there could be a lot of guns, a lot of eyes faced towards you, and it might be difficult to head on in.
Well, Oxford Esports are in one of the buildings that we saw. Going to be prime position for this end.
quite a lot of late movers. I think maybe people were trying to suss out how quickly this lobby was going to be moving. And now we've seen a lot of zone-heavy teams. Now everyone is starting to agree with that and move early as well.
Well, inside a wall, O2 Esports, chilling, as you can see, from not only the POV, but also from the player cam as well. Just a little moment to, adjust the shoulders, feel comfortable. You know how it is. When you know you're here for the long game.
Stay locked.
Yeah. Just relocking. I think that's called. I just made that up.
Relocking?
Yeah. You know when you get unlocked?
Yeah.
You're like, I need to relock.
Just need to relock. Get that,
need to lock it.
Get that key in me and relock.
Can you lock it in, please?
Well, this is the fight I was talking about at Wall, by the way, because O2 are holding it, but Nemesis was starting to arrive, but Nemesis have actually gone past them. RTS also are going to be happily moving along as well. Maybe Virtus Pro might take on a fight against O2 Esports a little bit later, but we'll have to wait and see, as RTS is just having a little scout to see if maybe they can take down any arrivals from the southeast side, but it looks like they're going to be happy for now as well. A lot of teams just avoiding fights at the moment, and I get it. First game or first series, you don't necessarily want to take any early fights, but at the same time, you might not get many chances for fights and for points, and if you go into a fight a little bit later and you're not quite warmed up, things can get a little bit dicey.
Yeah, Arctic being in charge of watching their back for ExoClan at the moment, who were the surprise casualties of the first lobby in that fight that we saw go down.
Would you rather hold the front line, or would you rather be the solo holding the back line? You'd be holding W and running towards anyone that's in front of you.
50 yards ahead, wondering why no one's helping.
And then this is me saying, all right, this guy's behind us.
I'll come back, don't worry.
Oh, well, there is...
Win your ones, Dan. Win your ones.
There's a full team that's going to be flying over them, and actually DXA are going to see the remainders of RTS also arriving to the ground, but it looks like they've been able to avoid it. And yeah, they're into the zone, so that's a good rotation from RTS. They can hold this position now, but they're just concerned about a team that might be down in that tunnel.
Yeah, got to watch this choke for any rotates coming through. They should be able to hold it. It's a very easy hold from that position. The only issue is if the lobby starts to stack up inside of the zone, team shooting you in the back, and before you know it, you're taking a bit more damage than you would have wanted. VP might need the ER in a minute because two players are down. And Zach Maines is trying to escape here. Gets a little bit more chip damage. And for what was a very good, but maybe a little bit of a frustrating game number one for VP, it's looking like a potentially very bad game number two. VP are out.
I mean, the Phoenix kit was a bold move, has to be said, but I think maybe they got caught off guard by O2 Esports. Team Nemesis also came back north when they heard that commotion, so Virtus Pro just getting shut down on their northern rotation. I said the wall was going to be tricky, and sadly, Virtus Pro were the ones to find that out.
So another big hitter out early in this lobby. Nemesis still involved in this lobby. You can see they're in wall at the moment. They were the team who are trying to clean up that final little bit of damage. O2 Esports also there as well. There's your map overhead to show you where we're going for zone number 3. And like we predicted, we are going to be going towards the hillside outside of wall. ExoClan trying to hold down a lot of space at the moment with that spider, where the spiders are, and also the exit towards Command Center, where a lot of teams will try and rotate through it. Command Center's looking very busy, by the way. You've got Oxygen, you've got Riddle, you've got SGB who are in there, and ExoClan holding. So we could see a lot of teams falling in and around Command Center.
Take note of all the Catalyst players in this lobby, because this final circle is going to be very cat heavy, and they are going to be the most integral part of winning this game. Just being able to bounce through that dark veil, not getting any vision impaired, not getting any slowing effects, anything like that. They will be the ones that will have to be the aggressors, give all that info to the rest of the team as well. That is presuming at least a few of the 13 teams running Catalyst get to that final circle, but hard not to with the amount there are.
Red Lord on our screens right now. Wig will be smiling, I'm sure.
He always is.
He always is. Oxygen, None, Arena have been eliminated. Area, excuse me. My pronunciation is terrible.
Oxygen, None, Arena.
Area, Dan. Please get it right.
O2 Esports now looking to try and get their next victim at the wall. It's going to be LG this time. Can they take down Virtus Pro and LG?
Well, the sling is going to be good because it means that they've got the rampage to work with. It's going to be revved up, and Tenton's moving in now. Does get taken down, so it's going to be a 1v2 by the looks of things, as LG will find 2, and unfortunately here for O2 Esports, it's looking like into the Void Nexus, trying to survive. Maybe everybody's going to try and retreat, as Nemesis look to move in for a third party here. It didn't look like they were overextending for it, but just seeing if they could pick up a couple of KP.
Yeah, it's only 2 members of Nemesis that are going up and having a look just as they did earlier, as now Riddle Order down on this southeast side next to Legion Gaming, and this probably will end up in a full 3v3 engagement.
Ooh, it's not looking too good here for Tyler, though. He'll be the first one to fall in this fight. Saku and Melzera are the last 2 alive. A lot of damage being done here by Saku. Lots of shields being broken, but frustratingly no exchange of knock. So they can turn this into a 2v2. Might have done enough damage here to think about the res, but it's always a risk. If you go and stick that red, if they get that information, and then they're more likely to swing. Saku's looking like he might be trying to escape from here alongside Malzera, and yes indeed, even with Sanpei trying to chase him down. Virtue have been eliminated in the meantime. Saku is whipping his wrist left and right to try and get some damage down.
Pop it.
But might be able to just about escape here.
Might be sacrificing himself just so Malzera can get away here. Oh no, they're both going to be able to get away, but Legion are very much on the hunt. They don't want to allow this escape, but I think they might have to give up on this one because they may just allow another team to come in third.
Well, I mentioned the fight that might go down inside a command center where there is action in the kill feed, and it's involving SGB, Exo Clan. As Legion Gaming maybe look to go back and just hold their spot that they had previously, but they're going to have to rotate as well in just a few moments' time. You can see where Red Lord did manage to just kind of escape to the bottom of that waterfall area. The zone is pulling slightly to the northern side of where we saw some of those teams like Unleash and DXA set up a little bit earlier. As we take a look at where it's going to be going, and playing that northern side is going to be an advantage. Exoclan do have a really good walk-in if they can hold this command center push from all these teams trying to move through. And
this is going to be even more important for those Catalyst players as well, because you look at that circle, you look at all that open space, and the Dark Veil is going to be so important just to try and block those visuals from other teams so you can get into a position to maybe win the game. But before that, the circle prior is going to be absolute chaos because we still have, what, 13 teams left in this lobby. They're all going to have to try and force their way in. Still a few haven't even made it to this next circle, by the way. You can see on that southern side is, I think Nose Fox are currently taking a fight against Riddle Order on the south, and I think they just won it as well. But LG also fighting, and it looks like they might take down the remaining of O2.
Yeah, it looks like they just picked out one player there. Ross was caught away from the rest of his team, and LG just absolutely leapt on that. Shubi finds another one here, and this is looking like a very comfortable clean wipe here for LG inside of wall. And they've got to be careful of potential third parties. We mentioned there's a lot of teams still alive here. Shubi moving in to finish off this one, and it will be able to as well. O2 Esports are eliminated, but there's the EMP, and it's FWG who are having a little look at this. LG should, and I say should, be able to reset, but no! Noise going to be taken down, but they do have a Void Nexus down. They should be able to retreat and get the res.
Riddle Order will be finally eliminated. They desperately tried to stay alive, but were unable to do so, and now FWG looking to try and force their way onto LG, but it looks like that Void Nexus may have just saved them. Another reason why Alta has been so strong in compositions so far this season.
Yeah, a little fallback that you can have if a fight doesn't quite go your way, and you've got enough time and you stall out a fight, you can hit that Void Nexus, return to it, and then get that res. It's a little bit risky to try and push through, trust me. I've done it a few times. Just a few. I'm an honest man, willing to address my own mistakes.
Nose Fox currently leading the lobby now, 24 points. But they are on the southern tip, and they have to still move up a little bit. It's Legion Gaming who are watching them, as are No Surrender, so they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, but one way to avoid that is an Ash Portal.
Now they're looking to move up here. It's going to be team up on this high ground, though, and you can see Arufa's taking damage. Leica is down as well, so he's going to be trying to just escape at this point, pop in the battery, but no! It's going to be Killer Pose with that bow check. From distance, he manages to get that knock, and now they're just down to one. Arufa's going to be last alive, and that will be them eliminated. No Surrender involved in that fight. Like we mentioned, the bow check from Killer Pose, pretty much the dagger, or should I say the arrow, that really changed that fight their way.
An arrow to the heart as SGB, the winners from match one, still have a solo player remaining, a rat just hiding away and hoping to avoid any confrontation from No Surrender.
I am but a bamboo tree.
Be the stick.
I was trying to think what it is. What's a stick? Is it a stick of bamboo?
It's a bamboo stick, yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought there was like some...
Could be a bamboo shoot.
I like that.
Whatever really you want to go for. But yeah, SGB now, it's about collateral damage, right? It's about just trying to pick up a couple of extra points after losing a couple of members early on. But No Surrender are so close to that remaining player. As Exoclan over on the eastern side, they came through Command Center, and now, as you alluded to earlier, they can kind of walk into this circle, but they just have to make themselves big. A lot of shots have to go down to try and stop anyone from taking their spot away.
Yeah, FWG are holding a lot of space. They're the team who have God spot at the moment, and they are more than aware that there's a team outside of Command Center who are going to have to try and move towards them. I think that the EMP from Exoclan is going to be very important to try and force them away, but elsewhere, No Surrender on our screens right now. Trying to move up towards LGN up on the high ground, but it's looking like a pretty difficult rotate for them to make. But Legion Gaming are going to hit the evac here and should give them a little bit of a freedom of rotate themselves. So not taking the fight, always a good thing. 9 squads remaining, so plenty of space within this zone for teams to play with, and Legion Gaming are going to make the move early, which is something we saw teams struggling to do in that game number 1. We kind of put it down to nerves a little bit. Now we're seeing teams start to make plays a little bit early on that rotate.
No Surrender do get eliminated. Legion will move first. There's 3 teams on the west that are all going to have to fight each other. SGB are still alive, by the way, amidst the bamboo, as you mentioned. The real question is how far can you go and how much damage are you going to take on your way. As you can already see, Miscam's gone down on the side of Legion, so they moved earlier. It's SGB confirmation they will be eliminated in 8th place.
A couple of little placement points picked up, though, by the solo, which is always good. Always helps, especially when you won that game number 1. Moves you a little bit closer to qualification. Remember, if you're watching here, top 10 in this lobby will go through to the next round. Bottom 10 will be into the elimination bracket, where they'll have to fight to stay alive. Speaking of fighting, LG at the moment seem to be winning every single fight. Every time we jump on their POVs, RTS will be the next victims, as they will fall as well. Legion Gaming now in a little bit of a fight themselves. The Catwalls having to be burnt a little bit early here by a lot of teams, and that's because of the fact there's just no natural cover. No Newcastle either that's been banned to give you that cover. So it's all about just holding teams out with guns. And at the moment, it's Naughty and LG who seem to have the most firepower in the lobby.
Naughty being Naughty, maybe needs a little spank. 4 squads now remaining as LG will spank Legion out of this lobby. And there are 4 Catalysts still alive as well. So just that time to reset, get those Dark Veils back up, and they will play that huge part in this final circle.
The Sorcerer's got a Kraber again. Can't quite jump up into the queue that he puts down there. A little bit of frustration for him, but, you know, it is what it is. DXA down on this low ground, trying to wrap their way maybe towards ExoClan's position. LG have a lot of space on this western side of the zone. They command pretty much all of it. And speaking of LG, let's jump into a listen-in as we still see Sorcerer, trying to line up some Kraber shots.
We play this tree, I think.
Okay, these guys are queuing, rapidly pushing me. They're full waiting.
Coming. 50 on 1. You play my angle, I have a Kraber.
They're heading.
Wait, they're far.
Don't get far. Right here, they were running. They were running at me though. We're okay.
I'm just nading.
Okay,
Blue armor.
150 on cat!
I'm just nading.
Kill it.
Nice.
Dead. Last one. Last.
All dead.
Bro, I'm stuck here. Oh my god.
Blissicult.
Okay.
No, we're good.
I have 0 bets. 0 bets still.
We're gonna play this tree spot right in front.
Okay,
I didn't pick. There's 2 bats here, Naughty.
Zone is invis for me.
Right here. It is invis for me too. We're just gonna play.
On me.
Well, ExoClan trying to make up for a little bit of a disappointing game number 1 here. LG hitting some big shots, and it was Sorcerer this time who was feeling a little bit saucy. You were saying the Naughty was feeling a bit naughty. Well, ExoClan trying to move up onto the high ground now to close this game out.
Yeah, they have a lot of high ground, a lot to work with as well. And you can see they are just going to wait and maybe use that crypto drone at the right time. The EMP could be vital as now Dark gets taken down. And ExoClan just trying to find out where those remaining pieces of FWG are. And it looks like they have been able to spot him out and will be able to shut down the final moment. So now it is going to be LG as a 2 against ExoClan.
LG do have the height though, and you have to wonder if they're going to be able to do enough. But ExoClan have managed to get some height themselves. Swinny's going to play it, but maybe he's going to give the opportunity to LG to turn this into a 2v2. Swinny trying to make an aggressive play. Just the timing was off on all of that. And it's looking like a 2v3 scenario that's going to be turned in the way of LG. The break comes in now from Naughty. He's going to challenge, even with the dash. Chaotic turns it into a 1v1 though. Shuby knows that he's broken, but he gets tethered.
Nice tether.
Shuby is in the middle of nowhere right now. But there is the cover coming on from the knockdown shield. Whistler goes in here for Shuby. It's a 1v1, but this has got very, very awkward. Chaotic jumps behind the knockdown himself now, and this is all sorts of crazy as this 1v1 continues, and finally LG will win it. It's a 2v3 they turn around, but I've got to say, it was a bit messy from everybody in that final fight.
Also Ballistic showing why he can be an important character to have in those final moments as well. Just the threat, the sheer scary factor of the Whistler coming in as well. You're terrified to be shooting your gun if they have been able to connect with it, but LG put big points on the board and show why they are one of the dominant forces in this lobby.
They just got 22 kills.
22 kills and turned around a 2 versus 3 as well.
Yeah, they just got 22 kills in the lobby. They look pretty chill about things. Why wouldn't you? You've just put 22 kills up in the lobby here on the main stage of New Orleans. It's always a good feeling, gotta say. I mean, you can't ask for more, especially a 2v3. I gotta say, Twinny, the timing was off. The timing was off that initial push. He wanted to be aggressive. I get the idea. He sees it's a 2, but
you could see a discussion there. K-Switty and one of his teammates, maybe Arctic, actually just having a little chat there and probably saying, you know, kind of how did we throw that one away? Because for all we talk about, you know, LG winning the 2v3, Exoclan need to look at themselves and say, we cannot allow those kind of situations to pass us up if we want to be getting to the latter stages of this tournament. We need to be better. So again, a good lesson to learn in the first matches of the day so that you don't have it happen later on. They still put 17 points on the board, but it is the 34 points on the side of LG, which should realistically guarantee their spot in the next round.
yeah, very, very strong performance there from LG. The fighting looked very, very good for them every single time that we jumped onto their POVs. Just looking down at the other side, though, it was VP who had a difficult game in our second one here on Storm Point. No points for them as they got caught up in wall. Team Nemesis were there as well. They only managed 1 point from where they found themselves as well. SGB, though, the winners, excuse me, of game number 1, they get a few extra points on the board as well. 3 in total, which is going to certainly push them a little bit further into that top 10 to make them feel comfortable, as we have the next legend being banned, being Catalyst, like you were saying. So no Newcastle, no Catalyst, 2 of the strongest defensive legends.
So now what do you do?
Gone. Good news for LG. They're killing everything.
Great news for LG. I mean, likely we're going to see more cryptos come into the equation, more Ash, more Alter as well, but it's that kind of final spot that you want to, you know, your defensive legend, that person that helps you transition from point A to point B. Again, it is something that Ash can do in a slightly different way. It's something Alter could do in a slightly different way as well. I mean, it's even something that Bangalore historically used to do by putting smokes down, but I doubt we're going to see that much of her, although she did appear once, no, 3 times actually. 3 teams selected Bangalore in match 2. So we'll have to see how this legend selection goes in match 3. But looking at the first 2 legends banned, this is shaping up more like an APAC North kind of situation than typically EMEA or NA.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a kill-heavy lobby. That's what's going to make the difference. And we were talking about it right before we got underway here in New Orleans. We were like, I think these first few rounds is all going to be about kill-heavy. If you're one of those pro league teams, don't be afraid to take the fight. Take the opportunity when it's in front of you. If you get kills on the board early, the placement points will come. Because like we've seen, there's a lot of space in these final zones. I mean, we saw 3 teams, I think it was in zone 5 in game number 1. So there is going to be an opportunity for you to look for those placement points a little bit earlier. As yeah, we're going to continue here in just a few moments' time. We'll get game number 3 coming on Storm Point. Dan, are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Sony InZone, the official monitor of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ALGS Open here in New Orleans. We've had 2 games under our belt here on Storm Point, and if you see this beautiful thing on your screen right now, you're probably wondering what it is. Well, Secret Lab knows the body was built to move, and their Titan Evo chair has evolved to meet that need. While the 4-way L-Adapt lumbar support system cushions your spine on a Y-shaped lattice of living hinges, the 165 degrees of recline and Class 4 hydraulics will keep you steady and ready while backing your every move.
I've always said my body was ready to move, but there is merch that is going to be dropping on June 27th, playapexshop.com. I'm excited to see what they are going to be. Looks like a Nessie to me. I win.
You reckon?
I win.
You reckon?
Do I get it?
No, I'm not. I think you're crazy.
The Prodigy
Crazy
collection.
Cool. That could be anything. I'm not going to tell you what I thought it was. Anyway, this is some of the stuff as well that is coming soon, so get excited for it. You can see some awesome merch, some awesome tees from the creators and Apex Legends. What did you go for, Dan?
I've always been a Bloodhound main, so it has been pretty sad not to see much Bloodhound on the stage.
Guy.
But why? I'm not a Mirage guy.
Dan loves Mirage.
I've never said I'm a Mirage guy,
Can't
but
get enough of
apparently so.
Mirage.
Bloodhound, yes. Mirage, no.
Big Mirage guy. Trust me.
Every single time.
Anyway, let's talk about the lobby. Let's talk about what we've got, because we've got one more game on Storm Point. Before we get a little bit interesting, before we start mixing things up, and we do see the newest map that we've had added to the ALGS. We've got a little bit of Broken Moon coming our way, Dan.
Why did you say it in Scottish?
I can't not say it in Scottish.
Moon.
I don't know. I just Broken Moon. It just maybe it's the horizon in me, Dan. Who knows?
I'm very excited when Broken Moon does arrive, but we still have one more match on Storm Point. But Broken Moon will be important because we've already seen like quite a kill-heavy lobby for the likes of LG being able to pick up points. Well, Broken Moon is going to even more open up the space for teams who like to be aggressive. Plus, we can have several defensive legends banned by that point. I think that most likely we'll see Alter get banned once we get to Broken Moon, but we'll see what happens here in match 3.
Well, let's see who replaces Newcastle and Catalyst. And I'm kind of excited the fact that we do have the 2 most, I would say, reset potential heavy legends taken out. It means the lobby opens up for KP, which is always a fun thing to commentate. We'll be selfish about it. We'll be honest about it. And ExoClan, I think, an interesting couple of games for them. Game number 1 didn't go great. In fact, it went very badly.
Very
badly. They got 0 points. However, game number 2, much better, but just that frustrating end game for them. But I will say it looks like the vibes have picked back up.
Is he cleaning his mouse pad?
No. He's
warming up the...
I was about to say...
warming up the
I was
forearms.
about to give you like a really good explanation of what was happening there, and there was like, I'm not actually sure what he's doing.
Just making sure the mouse
so I'm just gonna say
lasers are all working, but that's the first 2 matches, how it's worked out. SGB took game number 1, said it was easy, and then LG dropped 22 kills on the lobby. Now that's kind of what I was expecting when I was looking at these lobbies, some of the big teams running through and getting a lot of kills and kind of showing their excellence here. Well, LG have done just that, but can they now do it again in match 3? 6,500 damage, by the way, double what SGB were able to do in match 1.
Not bad.
No, not bad. It's all right.
Not bad. I think there might be a little bit of internal competition between some of our biggest teams in the world as who drops the most kills in one of these early rounds. LG with a good kind of marker, I think, as we take a look at those Legends bans. Just to remind you, Newcastle was banned after game number 1, and Catalyst has fallen to the wayside in game number 2 here. So maybe a little bit of Bangalore, like you mentioned, maybe a little bit of Rampart coming in as well.
I guess it depends.
Console.
If you want the ring console, you're going to be looking at Watson, Rampart coming into the equation, maybe a Fuse as well if you want to be able to do that once you get to the blue shield.